Over the past couple of years, hackers have been successfully targeting major companies like Sony, Target, Yahoo, and even the United States government. Well, one Israeli cybersecurity company has created a new way to protect computer networks from hackers and stop them from obtaining valuable information. Joining me in the studio today is Itay Sagie from Cronus Cyber Technologies. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Natasha.
All right, so let's talk about the bigger issue to begin with. You know, what kind of impact does cyber attacks have on our economy today?
Sure. It's estimated that actually by 2019, cyber crime will account for about $2 trillion in damages. That's up from $500 billion in 2015. It's a big jump. We're seeing a lot of attacks on mainly financial organizations and healthcare institutions because they hold the biggest, most valuable information, specifically on the darknet. So these are highly targeted. Actually, about 75% of organizations admit they've been hacked in the past year, and the rest of the 25 either don't admit or don't know they've been hacked in the past year. So it's a very big issue for the economy, and everyone is paying for it.
Right, this isn't just a personal issue because people are also scared that they're going to get their identities hacked, right? Their own devices, your iPhone, you're careful about what pictures you take, what you're doing. But this is actually an issue that has a much bigger impact on the world as a whole.
Correct.
So your company has created a program that uses automated penetration tests to protect against cyber threats. But what are they?
Okay. So what we do is actually in the prevention phase. So the cyber industry is divided into three: the prevention, during attack, and then the post-attack. And we've seen that in the prevention phase, most of the companies fail. We actually did a test with dozens of organizations, big enterprises, all have great cyber solutions. 100% of them are actually vulnerable to attacks, and over 90% are vulnerable in their critical business process. So that means the hacker can potentially shut down the organization. So the prevention phase is very important to us, and so that's what we do. We actually do penetration testing, which is something every company does normally once a year. It's mandatory by regulation, and also boards of directors are held accountable for these actions, so they also want to prevent these attacks from taking place. These are usually manual tests that happens once a year. They're very limited in scope and duration. So we've created a bot. It's called a cybot or a cyber bot that does it for you 24/7. It finds all the possible attack path scenarios into the organizations, into the critical business process, and show you a live map of these attack path scenarios. It's like a map of the route a hacker could take from one computer to a router to domain controller. And you can stop it before it happens.
Wow, that's incredible. And what is the result of having created this product? I mean, how are people responding to this?
Responding very well. We're working with very big organizations in Israel, UK, and Germany. These are the biggest three first market that we've launched in the past quarter. And then in this year, we're going to launch in the US. We work with big banks, financial organizations, healthcare institutions. And we're going to see the growth continue in the U.S. in this year.
And so for now, you're targeting these bigger institutions as a whole, not individuals?
Correct, yes. These organizations, they might think they're very well protected because they spend millions of dollars on cyber security technologies, which are all very good and very smart. But the fact is, they're all being hacked into. And they're tired of it. They pay, and they're still getting hacked into. They don't know why. And for the first time, they see a map of how these attacks can happen and how to stop the hackers from reaching their critical assets. They've pretty much given up on completely protecting the organization. It's pretty much impossible. But at least you can protect your
So you're
core
focusing
assets.
more on prevention than actual fixing the issue. So you're showing the map, and then from there on out...
we suggest how to fix these issues and patch what needs to be patched and prevent hackers from reaching your critical assets. That's the most important thing.
Wow. Well, it seems like you guys have created something that is going to be very powerful for our future. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Natasha.